Welcome y'all to another BANGover podcast interview. Today I have Christina. I just forgot how to say that.
It's Ocasio.
Ocasio.
Yeah, my
Xina?
friends call me Xina. Yeah.
Right. Yeah, that's how I've always known you. That's a really cool name, Xina. Obviously, like whoever has that name is like warrior princess, right?
Yeah.
Well,
Well, you know,
you probably always get it.
I like to say, unlike the fictional TV character, I actually went to war.
Oh, so yeah, take that, Lucy Lawless.
Lucy Lawless with your acting.
With your acting
warrior.
and pretending that you're killing people. Drummer for Sheverb, right?
Yes.
Yeah. And then you guys have this vinyl coming out. The vinyl release is going to be this Sunday, September 29th at Antone's Record Store between like 3 o'clock and 4. You got one?
Yeah.
Oh, you have a vinyl?
Yeah, I have a vinyl. So
Look at that.
I brought it because I figured we'd talk about it, so I'd show it.
Yes, definitely.
Because I remember I saw video, so I figured props would be okay for the podcast.
Yeah, that's why I have the sticks here, just in case we get into it.
Here's the vinyl.
Ooh. Now that album art is so cool.
Yeah, the album art is done by Felice House. She's a internationally renowned artist. She's local to Austin. The way we found her was I saw an article posted about her artwork, which she did a series of paintings. It's called Re-Western, and where she takes the movie stills from popular Western movies, John Wayne, Gary Cooper, Clint Eastwood, James Dean.
Stuff like that.
And replaces the lead male character with a female, and then painted them. And so what she did, she had to teach the women how to pose like the men, because women typically will pose more demure, sexy,
right?
You know, and men take up space, and they're more
just like just laid out,
right? So it's like a different style of standing, and so she had to like coach the women because they wanted to, you know.
Well, that's crazy.
Yeah. So she there's a whole
like a model to paint this.
Yes.
Like didn't just take the picture and then like change the face.
No. Well, when she first started the project, she actually just took female faces and cut them and put them onto the male bodies.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was kind of thinking.
Like, so she took.
This is like a next step forward.
Yeah.
Like,
At first she just took like, this is a picture of James. This is originally James Dean from the movie Giant. If you've ever seen it, you instantly recognize it. But then, so she cut out the face and put it on there, and she didn't really like the way it looked. It didn't do what she wanted. Yeah. So then she decided she was going to start painting them. So she got some models, and then she realized she had to teach the models how to not stand like women and how to stand like men, or more masculine.
That's so interesting, though. It's like to go through that process. I would love to just see someone like do a doc on that.
So what I read the article and I instantly was like, crud, that's like exactly like what we're doing with our music. We're females in a spaghetti western genre, surf music, which is traditionally very masculine.
Right. Yeah.
And so I forwarded the email to Betty. She's the guitar player in Sheverb, and she wrote a letter to Felice and was like, we really dig your stuff. It really lines up with what we're doing musically. And we started a conversation. And then when we were starting to produce this album, we reached out to her and said, it'd be really cool if we could use one of your photos for one of your paintings for the album art. And she was like, yes.
Of course. Yeah.
So she's going to be there. Awesome. She's going to be at
the release party.
She's going to be at the release party.
That's so
if you come out, you'll be able to see her.
I'll be able to talk to her.
Yes.
I'm so interested in this.
Yeah.
Even more so knowing how it's done at this point.
And
So fucking awesome.
On the back, we have a little story about how our music and her art are aligned. So when you get the album, you can read all that.
Y'all do that so well, like the way you have like your biography like scripted on your Facebook page and stuff. It's always it's short, sweet, but it's well thought out and it's interesting. It's not just like we met at a party, you know, it's like
Yeah.
it's more thought out, and there's you guys always leave a sense of like mystery and magic to the whole thing. That it's
Yeah.
like, again, you guys are changing the face of the genre, just like how she's doing this with the paintings. You guys are doing that with the spaghetti western type band with an all female band,
Yes.
which I didn't even realize that not really a thing, like all female spaghetti western type
No.
band.
I don't know.
I was like, oh, I guess not.
No.
I didn't even think about it until now.
There's no, not any that I know of. There's a few bands that have many genders,
Right.
both men and women.
Yeah.
But
It's hard to find band people, you know? No, it's hard to find musicians. It's like you have to limit it to be like, I'm looking for a certain type of person, but then again, you kind of want that person to fit that missing piece in the puzzle, right?
Yeah.
You can't just put whatever. That shit never lasts. And they're like, I don't know why the band broke up. It's like, because obviously when you guys met each other, there was so many red flags, and you're just like, we just keep going with it.
Yeah.
It's not working well. You know?
yes,
It's
that
about
is a-
working. Yeah.
I feel lucky because I've known, me and Betty have been friends for, I don't know, since 2013 is when we first met. And at that point, neither one of us were playing a musical instrument.
That's the most crazy shit, because that's what Betty told me as well. I was like, wait, how long? You know?
Yeah. And so then we like both picked up musical instruments, and then I moved back to Austin, and we hung out, and I was like, oh, you're playing guitar, I play drums now too.
I saw on your Facebook page you've lived everywhere.
Oh yeah, I've lived everywhere. all over the-
Everywhere. Yeah.
I've lived on
Well,
the East
in the
Coast.
United States.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, I've been in Saudi Arabia for Desert Storm.
Right.
That's the only place I've lived outside of the country. Well, I don't know. How do you count Puerto Rico? Puerto Rico is technically not part of the United States, but it is a commonwealth of the United States. So I
Sounds
don't know.
exotic.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Sounds fun.
I don't know if you call that living outside of the U.S.
True, true.
I didn't need a passport to go there.
I just thought that was pretty interesting. You were like all over the place. I was like, oh, she's
Yep.
traveled quite a bit. Yeah. And you, it just seems like you're always coming back to Texas.
I was born here, raised here.
Right.
I've lived here most of my life.
Corpus Christi, your hometown?
No, Houston.
Houston.
I mean, that's where I did most of my growing up. But I was born in Seguin. I never lived there, so I don't. When
right,
people ask me
yeah.
where I'm from, I'm like,
Texas.
yeah, I say Texas because I'm a Texan.
Texas.
But I learned to walk and talk in New York City.
Oh, even at a young age, you were traveling all over the place.
yeah.
So it was like already in your blood. Yeah.
Yeah, so there's definitely a little Brooklyn girl in me. So
A little bit. There's a little bit of every type of girl in you.
Yeah.
That list. I also saw like you worked at Burning Man. You guys were just getting back from that.
yeah, I've worked at Burning Man and I've done art out there.
Yeah.
I've done. Well, Betty and I played music there a few years ago. We did several shows out there at Burning Man. I've done performance art. I've done metal sculpture, and I've also volunteered, and I've worked for the organization.
Yeah. It's something like the whole band is really into, right?
Yeah.
It's just that whole. Because talking to Betty about it, she was saying there's even some in Texas. I think there's like 4
Yeah.
different ones in Texas if you can't get to the really big one.
I mean, that's the one. The one here in Austin's called Burning Flipside. I was heavily involved with that during the early aughts, so like 2000
Getting
to
started.
2006. Yeah, I was just starting up, and I was super involved. I became a department lead and
And it's
helped
because
organize.
of all your experience in like the actual Burning Man festival out in the Death Valley and everything.
I went to Flipside first,
Oh, okay.
so that's how I got in the Burning Man. I mean, whatever.
Right,
I read
right,
about
right.
it in the 90s.
Everyone did.
I'm a weirdo. I'm an outsider. I've always been that way. I've been reading and doing weirdo outsider stuff since I was 12.
So it only makes sense
Yeah.
to go to a place with a bunch of other weirdos in the desert.
The
Sounds
funny
like a
thing
great
is
time.
like most people come to Burning Man because they hear about Burning Man, but I actually knew about one of their predecessors, one of the things that fed Burning Man, which was called the Cacophony Society, and that's how I came to Burning Man.
Oh,
So
started from the beginning.
yeah, so that was back in the 80s. The Cacophony Society and Church of the Subgenius. Those were two weirdo groups.
Yeah, that sounds like some weirdo stuff.
Yeah, Church of
It's
Subgenius
What
was
is this, a cult? Or
Church of
religion?
Church of Subgenius was a pseudo-religion born in Dallas, Texas.
Okay.
And back in the 80s, back before the internet, how did you find weirdo people? You know what you
Cults?
did? You read Rolling Stone. In the back of
Really?
Rolling Stone, there used to be a classified section. And there would be like little ads where you would send off and get things. So me and my buddy saw this thing for Church of the Subgenius about Praise Bob. Have you ever heard of Church of the Subgenius?
No, but
Oh, don't totally look into it.
Yeah.
So anyways, we saw an ad for Church of the Subgenius. We got together the money, put it in an envelope, sent it off to Dallas. And then, several weeks later, a videotape showed up and we put it in. And there's all these weirdo guys. And they're doing this like
Seance?
church revival meets art experience meets music show. And it was just like blew our heads, just
Yeah.
it's just one of the many things in my life. Yeah. So back before the internet, the back of Rolling Stone used to have these little weird ads in the back of the
I
Rolling Stone.
do remember like those weird ads in the back of like I would read Wizard in the 90s and I would always have like stuff like that, but I know what you mean, like sent away for the X-ray glasses and stuff like that.
Yeah, so we did it and we were just like, okay.
That's probably the coolest one out of all that, just to see like you guys want to see a pretty cool video, there was the time where like people had these VHS tapes of this like weird like grindhouse movies or like I remember, I don't know how I got it, but I got one of those crazy Faces of Death tapes and it was just like black metal and just the horrifying things of real life and I was like, but it was in that time frame of just like, again, weird stuff, VHS, not knowing this tape ain't labeled. What?
I mean, now it's so easy because you just,
Google
internet
it.
and people send stuff to you and it just comes, it's so much easier now to like.
Find a cult.
Yeah. Find your own little cult.
Find your own religion.
Yeah.
Well, that's crazy. I also saw that like engineering.
Yes.
Studied engineering.
I have a degree in applied physics from here. I usually don't like to say this because I feel like I'm being pretentious. But anyways,
No.
I got
You
applied
got the
physics
degree. Yeah.
from Cornell University. I got to study with Carl
amazing.
Sagan and
Yeah.
Hans Bethe. It was pretty awesome.
Holy shit.
Yeah.
Did not expect that one, like doing research. And I was just like, what now? I was like,
Yeah.
that's fascinating. Like, I love the idea of physics. I wish I could get more into it. I'm just not that level. And
Yeah.
wow.
What I realized though going to school is I'm not that level. Like meeting those people, meeting PhD, not PhD, Nobel Prize winning physicists, and I just realized I'm not as smart as them.
Oh,
I'm
hold yourself.
typically, I'm not, I won't be modest. I'm smart.
You got the degree, right? You graduated.
But I'm not Carl Sagan smart.
Yeah, well, a lot of those smart guys are a bunch of assholes because they don't know how to react with the rest of the world. They
Yeah,
spent
yeah.
a lot of time doing the research, but didn't learn how to be a human.
Carl was different. But,
I think Carl is probably different.
Yeah. But so one of the things I've started doing now is I've married the physics, my engineering background with my music, and I've started a small business doing amp repair and studio. I'm a studio technician for a local studio.
Yeah, the ice cream factory, right?
Yep.
Yeah.
I work out at the ice cream factory. I have a little shop there. I do some side work and I repair equipment in the studio for the studio.
Well, I'm about to send you a bunch of clients because that's the conversation all my guitar players, bass players have been saying, oh, there's something wrong with my amp, And we need someone. Yeah, definitely. Yeah, I don't need it. I play drums.
Yeah.
It's all analog. There's no wires here, all right? There's no wires.
Isn't that crazy? I'm the
Yeah.
drummer in the band. And
Then you're fixing all the amps. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think Betty was telling me you're like just keeping pedals like alive on tour and stuff like that. It really helps.
Yeah.
Everyone in the band has like such an outside role of just being the drummer or just being the guitar player. You know what I mean? And it really helps to like manage it. And especially when you go on tour and you need someone to.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, how many times have you seen an amp blow on stage?
Oh, yeah.
Quite often, I'll tell you that. And I'm just like, shit, do you think it'll be okay? But it's like, no, it's not working at all. I'm like, okay.
Yeah, I bring a little kit with me. I have solder gun and solder wire, and I've
Just fix it on the
just
go.
fix it
Yeah.
on the go.
That's
While we're
so
driving
cool,
down
yeah.
the road, I'll sit in the back seat and open
Just
something up.
mad scientist, just building this robot here for our roadie. That would be pretty sweet, actually. I was like, I was just thinking about that. Like, one of my questions I had was like, do you apply like knowing physics and everything like that? Has to do with like motion and weights and these ratios of the air. All those things I know nothing about. Do you apply any of this to playing drums in some way, like your motion at all, or like how you
I wish
hit
I
it?
could say I did, but no. I mostly think about drumming. I mean, I mostly think about drumming as a form of dance.
I can see that. Yeah, and I totally understand. Yeah,
It's like before I started drumming, I was very much into electronic music and going and dancing and stuff. And then when I got behind the kit and I started realizing how much you have to have limb independence.
Yeah.
So in case somebody's listening to this, limb independence is you have to be able to move each one of your limbs independently from the other as a drummer, because you're playing different rhythms with each hand and foot, right? So being able to have limb independence really improves your drumming, but it's very similar to dancing.
Oh, right. Yeah.
Yeah. So with dancing, you're moving every body part, and it's it could be doing different things that coordinate in a way, but they're not necessarily like tied together. And so when I started playing drums, I thought about it as a form of dance.
That's a good way of thinking about it. Yeah, because it's really. I always hear like some really famous drummers say they're like, if you can't dance on stage behind that drum kit, then how are other people supposed to dance to your playing?
Yeah,
You know
right.
what I mean?
Exactly.
So it's like you got to get in that movement. And you always see drummers just have like way too much fun, even on a slow song. You know?
Have you ever seen that video that the
wrong drummer for the wrong gig?
No, the video the guy in the red, it looks like a Kool-Aid Man suit who's just going nuts on the drums.
No, I haven't seen this one.
Oh,
yet.
you gotta look it up. It's crazy. This guy he's just out of control. It's like some kid show. He's like in a suit, like a big foam suit, and he's playing the drums, and he is going to town on the drums. I can't imagine how you could play as fast and as accurately as he was in a foam suit.
Well, I do listen to a lot of Gwar, and I've seen them live, and they nail it. Yeah.
Oh yeah,
they nail it. That's the crazy thing about drums is like it's just doing it. It's not really like gotta sit down and break down like you were thinking. I gotta move each part of my body, each limb at a different pace. Well, it's like if you think about it like that, you're really gonna start fucking yourself up, and you're like, I can't. You just keep those ideas in the back of your head.
Well, yeah.
Yeah, and then when you actually play, just do it. Yeah. Do all the studying outside, but don't think about that when you're there. You're like, am I doing a paradiddle? It's like, don't think about that. Just do it.
I've had several people come up and talk and ask me how I figure out how to play the hi-hat, because I play it like a little different
From Stuart Copeland. Did you listen to a lot of
No.
No, I have. I've been lately.
I should. He's a really good drummer.
Lately, I've just been deep diving into it, and the girlfriend's like, why are you listening to this? And I'm like, just listen to the drums. Just listen, because I've been obsessed. I'm like, just listen to his hands.
But when they ask me, I say, I don't know. I just don't think about it.
Right.
I just let my foot do the thing, and it does. My foot and my hands just do the thing, and I don't really think about like where am I, where the right place to put the hi-hat.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, eventually, at some point, you're like, at some point, you start, as you're working on a song and building a new song up, you'll start, noticing like smaller things as you get better and better at the song, and then you start thinking about, oh, maybe if I leave the hi-hat open, but
different sound.
Yeah, you get a little different sound, and that'll be better. But mostly, I just play. I don't think about it. I practice limb independence,
And how do you do that? Like on your own? Just put on a record, start dancing?
No. What I do is I'll like try to, tap out quarter notes on one hand. It's like really like deliberative.
Yeah.
Which is one of the things that, so have you ever heard of the 10,000 hour rule?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. That's bullshit, right?
Well,
can I curse him?
Oh yeah, definitely. Okay. Well, he was saying maybe like 40 or 50,000 hours, right?
No.
I've just listened to David Lee Roth when he keeps saying that. He keeps adding up
10,000 hours is bullshit. Malcolm Gladwell, he's a great writer, but he's full of it. The study he cites for the 10,000 hour rule is not really, it's not great. Because basically what it is is the idea here presents is in order to become a master of something, you have to spend 10,000 hours.
Right.
Which sounds right, but it's not just repetitive hours. It's not just spend
The
10,000.
same thing. Yeah.
Right. The real trick is what's called deliberative practice.
Okay.
And deliberative practice is you set up a goal.
Right.
Okay, so what I'll do is I'll say, all right, I want to play this rhythm. And I want to get it up to like 150 BPM. And I work on that for like a week and a half.
Until you nail it.
Until I nail it.
Yeah.
That's how you get better. You set goals. You work towards that goal. When you achieve that goal, you move on. You set a new goal.
Right. And you keep moving, learning. Yeah.
Learning.
Yeah.
So
not stuck in the rut.
Yeah. It's not just doing 10,000 hours. It's like having a plan.
Yeah. Because
So
if you're just working a practice pad for 10,000 hours, all you're going to do is play the practice pad at that one type of beat, you know?
And so you have to like it's called deliberative practice. So goals, set yourself goals.
Right.
One of the other things I do is sometimes I'll do what I call workshop mode, which is where I like totally dive really in. So like when I practice, I have maintenance practice, which is just like playing, 30, 40 minutes a day. I try to do that every day.
Wow.
So just maintenance practice.
Discipline.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm super busy, so I'm not as good
it's
as...
hard, but we're trying to get there. Yeah. Every day.
But every day, 30 minutes to an hour of just like playing. I work through my song if I want to work on a song or something, or I just play along to other bands so I can learn different...
different beats.
Yeah, different beats.
Know.
I've been working on AC/DC a lot lately.
Oh, yeah.
That guy's really good.
Yeah, even everyone's always just like, it's just the drummer for AC/DC. It's like, okay, well, you go ahead and just try to play those beats in that fashion, because there's a lot of fucking quarter notes with his right hand, and his other hand, his left, and his foot are doing something completely different.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, so that's really hard to keep a steady tempo here, and everything else is double time.
Yeah.
You know? Try it. Try it out.
But... And then I'll go into what I call workshop mode, where it's like, all right, I'm gonna master the shuffle, and I'll spend, instead of spending an hour a day just like maintaining, making sure I can keep going and everything's good and solid, I'll spend 2 or 3 hours a day, like really working on the shuffle beat, like for like 2 or 3 weeks until I get it down.
Damn. So that's exactly how people need to practice. Like, you're doing that all the time. How long have you been playing drums for?
Well, I don't know. It depends on how you count it.
Yeah, I always say that too.
Okay, so I started playing drum. Well, let's see. In the year 2000, I played drums for 6 months until my neighbor came and told me, "You keep dropping the beat. If you don't stop playing drums, I'm going to call the cops and get you all arrested." So I stopped playing drums.
Okay. What an asshole.
Yeah, that's still an asshole. And I really regret that I didn't follow. Like tell them to fuck off.
Should have thrown a stick.
But I was renting from somebody, and they didn't want problems with their neighbors. So it was
drummer's life.
So I stopped playing. I didn't play. That was like 6 months maybe of like
getting the drum kit, getting behind it. And
but it wasn't like steady, or wasn't. I was just I don't know. And then Rock Band came out, and I got the Rock Band thing. So what did that come out, like 2006, 7? Something?
Yeah, somewhere around there. Right? Yeah.
So I started playing Rock Band. I got the cheap little plastic kit.
Right.
I played that until I broke it.
Just hammering it.
Yeah, because I was like, this is so much fun.
Yeah, I can do this all the time, anytime. Yeah.
So then I bought the Ion Rock Band kit. Ion Arts? Yeah. They make electronic drums. You know what I'm talking about?
Yeah.
They're like cheap, like consumer grade.
Yeah.
Consumer grade. Yeah. Little plastic. And I got that. It was designed for Rock Band, so it had like a little Rock Band controller in it and everything. So I set it up and I played that until I broke it. And then as I started breaking those pieces, I would replace them with real Roland mesh head electronic drums.
Yeah.
So I have like a really nice electronic drum kit. So I played that, but it was always with Rock Band.
That's crazy.
And then like 2011, 2010, I decided, I replied to an ad on Craigslist, and I went and played with some friends. They're friends now. In fact, the guy just reached out to me and told me how excited he is and how far I've come and all that stuff. So I went and it was just some 30-year-old 40-year-old dudes and me. We hung out in the office. It was like the second floor office of a tile factory, and he had a little band room set up there, and he would have his friends over, and like once or twice a week they'd come over and they'd jam out.
Oh,
so I would do that. Huh?
That's fucking sick.
Yeah. I mean, they don't play. They play one show a year in the guy's backyard.
It's just all about having a good time.
Yeah, just about having a good time. So I did that for a little while, and then I moved, so I didn't do that. And then not too long after I moved, I put everything in the closet and I hadn't played drums again until 2016, after my mom died, and I realized I didn't want to live my life with regrets anymore. And my one biggest regret was that I didn't follow music in my life. So I got the electronic drum kit back out, and I was like, I'm going to be a drummer. I made a post about it on Facebook. I'm going to try. My goal was to be in a cover band.
Easy, right?
Yeah, I figure I don't have to like make up music. I just listen to something, figure it out, play along with other people. You know, I'm going to be in a cover band. It'll be fun. Every once in a while I'll get to play.
Make some money.
Money. So I was like, I'm going to be serious about this. And I started, and that was like 6 months before I found out Betty started guitar playing. And then it took us like 2 or 3 months to coordinate our schedule. I showed up at Betty's house with my electronic drum kit, and Betty had her guitar, and we played, and it was like magic.
Oh, you clicked immediately.
Oh man, it was so click immediate. The first time it was like really good. The second time it clicked so hard that at one point we were jamming out on this groove. I started hearing a full band in my head, and I could hear lyrics.
Oh yeah. And
I stopped playing because I was paying attention to the song that was happening in my head and not the song that was happening in the playing. Yeah. And Betty's like, "Why'd you stop playing?" And I was like, "Oh, I'm sorry. I just got caught up in the song I was hearing." And she was like, "Whoa, that's crazy. Because when I was playing, I was seeing like stars." And she was seeing visual hallucinations, and I was having auditory hallucinations. And at that moment, I was like, whatever we're doing, we got to keep doing it, because we have whatever it is, it's magic. We're creating magic.
Yeah.
And we've been playing ever since.
Oh, that just gave me goosebumps, because that's crazy. You have that thought in your head. I don't know if that's a drummer thing or not, but every so often you can just hear like, I can hear trumpets. You know, I can hear like where there would be a brass section in this song where like, ooh, I found the backing vocal because of the rhythm that I just kept hearing.
Yeah.
That's so crazy. I think it's just learning how to listen, you know, and then playing with someone that you're connected with, you know, it really does just make it flow even harder.
Yeah.
And I mean, from there, you guys just grabbed another guitar player and was like, let's try to fucking go.
Yeah, well, we found Fern at the Electric Church jams when they used to have those weekly jams.
I think they still have them on Wednesday.
Every once in a while.
Okay.
It's like off and on again. It's not as steady as it used to be.
Right.
I mean, I don't know they've had one in the last several months.
I haven't heard about it.
Yeah. Yeah. So I remember because Fern was playing, and I walked over to Betty, and I was like, we should invite her over to jam with us. And Betty was like, I already did.
I think we found him. Man, that's a good way of meeting musicians, though, is going to those open jam sessions. Yeah. I've seen a whole band get formed out of, I used to work Tuesday nights at Stagel, and it was a lot of jazz, just a fucking bunch of drummers really sitting around waiting to play. But they'll have singers come up, and from that I saw like a whole band get born out of that, where they just started playing like every Sunday for like a 3-hour set. And I was just like, well, that was just from jamming together and finding that groove with somebody you didn't even know. You're like, oh, that fucking worked, and that sounded really good. People should get out to more of those. You know what I mean? And there should be more of those around town, because that's kind of what makes you a musician. But you being a drummer, did you ever get up and play drums in those open jam sessions?
At church?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. I mean, I play all. To me, the fun part about going to an open jam is I get to play other instruments.
Oh, so you can play like bass or...
Yeah.
Oh, well, fuck. I'm limited to the drums, and I'll be like, I just have to adjust this rack tom real quick.
Okay, so what I like to say is I can play guitar. Well, I don't really play guitar. I can make a guitar sound not shitty.
Okay.
So what I do is I know enough that I know how to play a chord, right?
Right.
So then I say, what key are we in? I ask, what key are we in? Because I can't really hear it well, because I don't practice enough to hear it good.
Right.
So they'll say E minor. So then I'll play a E minor, and that's it. I play E minor.
There's enough people here to cover it out. Yeah.
I mean, there's all the other people.
Yeah, exactly.
And you're just up there having fun. I play E minor, and I'm a drummer. So I play it. I'm a rhythm guitar player. I play it like I'm freaking playing the drums. I just like play a rhythm.
Yeah. You know how that whole hand thing works where it's like you got to move your fingers like this and your wrist a different way? Yeah,
But I don't move my hand. I don't move my hand. I
just play stay on that
one chord.
Just strumming.
Just strum it.
Maybe hold it out.
Hold it out. Maybe just add accents.
Just a little bit of something.
Just a little bit of something.
I think it's about being having a better imagination than being a super talented or technical player in any way.
Yeah, I don't know
what you come up with.
I mean, I'm not one of those. I got to show off. I'm just up there to have fun. If I'm having fun, and people come up to me and they're like, "Oh my god, I didn't know you could play guitar." I'm like, I was playing one chord. What are you talking about? No,
don't tell anyone that. Just play it off. Yeah, play guitar, play bass, drums, and do a little singing. Have a,
Yeah, I do singing.
Degree in physics. It's just
I was in a bass. I played bass in a band in college. So I mean, I'm not.
Bass is easy.
Well,
there's no bass players here. We're free to talk.
Bass isn't easy. It's hard to make it sound good.
Oh yeah, I try to pick up a guitar just to want to get a better understanding for the instruments around me. So learning guitar, learning bass, and learning how to sing is very important because it helps me be a better drummer because I know what they're going through or what we need to do to get this to sound right. I'm not patient with guitar. I'll do bass. I'm really trying to practice more on my singing because I get real lazy with that because I'm just focused on the drums. And I'm like, oh, right, I have to sing in this song too. So learning those exercises. So I think I'm pretty set right now, but I do want to learn how to play bass or guitar. And you have a right idea. Just what's the chord? And once you start learning those things, it's like, just start adding the rest of the pieces of the puzzle.
So I recently learned how to sing too.
Just learned how to.
I took lessons.
It up out of nowhere. Oh, you took lessons?
Yeah, because I was like, my son told me that I suck at singing. Oh, and that really hurt my feelings.
Yeah.
And so I was like, and I have always had the belief that anybody can sing.
I think so too.
Unless you're tone deaf, which is only like 3% of the population. It's a very rare condition. Yeah. Very, very rare. Most people that say they're tone deaf aren't actually tone deaf.
Yeah, I know exactly what you mean.
Right? So it's like, because it's only like 3% of the population. 3 out of 100 people might be tone deaf. Most of your friends that say, oh, I'm tone deaf, they're not actually tone deaf.
No, just don't know how to do it.
The problem is that we don't sing as a culture anymore. So, if you think about like in the 1800s, before radio and phonograph, before radio and records.
Right. Before we had computers.
What did people do for entertainment?
Get together, probably jam.
They got together and jammed. There was a piano in the house. Somebody, one or two or three people in the house knew how to play the piano, and everybody else would gather around the piano and sing songs. So if you think about like music business, the original music business was selling sheets of music, so people could play them in their house for entertainment. That's how they enter. So there would be guys that go around with a book and they would sell you the sheets, and then people would learn how to play the song, and they could sing together and do all that stuff. So that was entertainment. Everybody sang. Not everybody, but most everybody sang.
If you didn't sing, you played the piano, or you picked up a different instrument, and still backup singing, you know what I mean? Yeah.
But as we moved into recorded music, people started letting the experts sing. Because, not everybody is going to be
some people just have talent.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Billie Holiday or...
You can't make talent. You're only born with talent. But you can train yourself and work hard to learn how to sing. But you're not going to be, a David Lee Roth or, fucking, just to name a few.
Nina Simone.
There you go. Yeah, that's a very unique voice.
Yeah. But you can be good.
Yeah, you can still sing.
and you can be in.
You're not Freddie Mercury.
Yeah. Not everybody can be Freddie Mercury or Nina
We don't
Simone.
have extra teeth. Yeah.
But everybody can sing, and you can sing along to most music.
I believe so too.
So when my son told me I sucked, I decided that I needed to do something about that. So I took vocal lessons
Here in town?
Yeah, ACC, Austin Community College.
God damn it! Yeah,
It's so
I've been
great.
wanting to do that for so long. Is like
The
learn some exercises and stuff like that.
Oh
Right?
yeah, the teacher I had was fantastic. He was really, really good.
Oh man. And what were like some of the things that you might have learned that like if you could give me like one pointer?
The one pointer is don't try.
I like that. Yeah. Anytime you're trying to sing, you're gonna fuck it up, right?
Right.
Just let your voice actually do what it does.
Because what happens is, okay, so you can't control your vocal cords.
Okay.
You can't like make them tighter or loosen. You physically, it's just not possible. You don't have a direct. It's not like you can't exercise your vocal cords the same way you can move your finger.
Okay, I see what you're saying. Yeah.
Right. It's there's some term and I forgot what he used. So when you try, you're tightening up your throat.
Right, because you're thinking this is how it's supposed to be.
So you're trying. So when you tighten up your throat, when you exert these muscles around your vocal cord, it puts strain on your vocal cords. So then your vocal cords won't produce the tone that you want. Because your effort is pulling the vocal cords out of where they need to be in order to create the tone you want.
Right, because it's supposed to be like reverberation off
Yeah.
your throat, and
Right.
you're supposed to it's like waves.
Yes.
Yeah.
So
You ever seen those
the
videos?
more relaxed you can be in here, the easier it is for your vocal cords to produce the tone you want.
That's very interesting. It's
So
like,
you have to not try.
that makes any sense. Again, just do. It's like that Nike
Yeah, it
commercial.
is. It is about
yeah,
just do it.
just
It's
do.
it's a very Zen thing, right? It's like
Yeah.
it's like the more effort you put into it,
More thought.
the more strain,
Right. I
the
feel like I do that all the time. Yeah.
the least likely that you're going to be able to produce the sound you want.
Right.
So like you let it all go. If you look at
Just
opera
loosen up.
singers, their mouths are just like this. And they're just it's just the chords. They're just everything is
Letting
relaxed.
that throat open up. Yeah.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
just so it can project the way it needs to.
Yes.
Wow, that is that makes sense. That totally makes sense. You ever been in the car driving around singing to a song? You're like, damn, I almost nailed it. And you try to do it again. You're like, why can't I fucking do this? It's like, because you probably just stopped caring at one point and you were just singing because you were alone.
Yeah.
And then didn't even realize it. And then when you're like, oh, I think I could actually do this.
Yeah.
But I think everyone could sing. There's plenty of videos online, 30-day challenge of
Yeah.
learning how to scream, metal scream. And with the right exercise, the right approach, you can start making it happen really, really fast without the 10,000 hours, if
Yeah.
you will. Yeah.
So, I mean, at some point somebody told me I couldn't sing when I was young.
You're like, fuck that.
and so then I started trying harder, and the harder I tried, the less I could hit the right notes,
Right.
because I was trying too hard. So I'm gonna hit that note,
Yeah.
right? Because I'm straining and everything's
You're like,
tight.
yeah, you're trying to
And
make it happen.
I went to the guy, and he just taught me how to relax and let my voice sing. So yeah, so I feel. I mean, I'm not.
Just relax.
I'm not
Yeah.
Nina Simone or anything, but
But you can probably still hold a pretty good pitch. You
Yeah,
know what I mean?
yeah.
You can hold a note.
I can hold a note. I can sing in tune.
Hey, you play drums and you can do backup now.
Yeah.
You know? And good backup. Like,
Yeah.
So great. We're going to take a small break real quick,
Yeah.
and then we're definitely going to come back and talk some more.
Okay.
Awesome. And we're back. I had some more drum questions because being drummers, it's like,
yeah.
oh man, I could talk to you like for 2 hours about just drum shit. But we talked about you practicing, which was inspiring to me. I'm like, fuck, man, I keep telling myself this is what I need to do. And what I always do is just go in, I like have a tom set up with the mute pads and the snare, and then my kick pedals, my double kick pedals with like a practice kick pad. And I just run on that son of a bitch. And that's pretty much my extent. But being in 3 bands, I get to practice like 3 to 4 days out the week with the band. So I'm covered in some ways, but yes, I do need to work on certain exercises. I noticed the drum kit that you had is still that same black Yamaha.
No, it's a Pearl Export.
Oh, you had the Pearl Export. I thought you had a black Yamaha Stage Custom. I was totally wrong about that.
No. It was a silver Pearl Export.
Like just silver, no sparkle, no nothing like that.
Silver sparkle.
Oh
but
God, that's.
If you look at it now, it looks gold.
Because of just playing on it. Just wearing.
I don't know. I mean, I bought it used, and when I bought it used, it was gold. But when I took it apart, because when I bought it, I took it apart because I wanted to make sure everything was and everything was okay on it. And as I peeled the pieces off, the pieces that weren't exposed to sunlight or whatever, underneath the hardware were silver.
Oh, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe. Yeah. No, they put wraps on there as one color. They don't spray paint it afterwards.
No, yeah, it was a wrap. It's a wrap.
You rarely do a wood stain. Yeah.
No. Yeah.
Wow. I kind of hate that color.
The gold?
No, the silver sparkle. No.
Yeah. No, now it looks gold, so it's no longer silver.
It takes whatever light is on stage, sure, but it was like when I was buying a new drum kit, I found one that I really wanted, but I was really turned off about the silver sparkle.
Yeah.
And I was just
I would
rather have orange sparkle for whatever reason. I just didn't like the silver. It reminds me of Kiss a little bit.
I want a purple kit.
Purple would be really nice. I was thinking of like a burgundy, like something. I like those two-tone kits. Oh, man, there's some beautiful kits out there. I've seen a pearl. What was it called? Just the really high-end pearl. I'm forgetting the model, but it had that like green moved into yellow back and forth, and it was like part of our old lockout room, and I could play on that drum set all the time. And I was just like, I fucking love this drum kit because it's just. Sometimes it's about the wood, and we have like mid-level kits. I love the Pearl Export. That's what I used to have. I just wore it down to the ground, just shells cracking on it and everything. The fucking hoop for the bass drum is like just ripped apart from my DW pedal and double bass over the years. So I had to move on to the Tama Imperial Star, but not really the fan. They glue on the Tama wraps, so it's like a special glue where they're like, it's not coming off. I'm like, so getting it rewrapped would be impossible. Like, thanks, Tama. They also put like really small tuning rods on it, so you can only use a fucking Tama key. You have to have a Tama key. Every other drum key really doesn't work on it. It doesn't feel right. Because they were like, it's for keeping it in tune a little bit. And I was like, that's bullshit. This thing's been going out of tune left and right. So I wanted to show this. This is why I brought this little thing in here. Because I thought it was really clever. And I know you guys are going on tour.
Yes.
If you ever have a problem with like losing drum tuning, it's hot in the car, it's AC inside, you bring it out, your head goes out of whack immediately.
Yeah.
So what I did, I just bought these little nuts right here. And as soon as I get it into tune, I just bury down that nut and it locks in the tuning. So therefore, it does not move ever.
Oh.
Yeah. And you can go all tour long just using that. I've been using it in like this little bastard right here since I like to play on it a lot. And it's only 6 lugs, so it'll go out of tune in one song. Because I kind of like it a little bit low. I'm not really a high tuner. My whole tuning thing is like hand tuning the rod and then bearing down a little bit further with my wrist and then just tightening it up right there. And that's it. That's all I do.
So you want to see how this is how I tune. And I got this off of the internet. I saw some guy. I was like, okay, so my first acoustic drum kit I bought in 2016. The kit I have is the only acoustic kit I've ever owned.
Started off with that Pearl Export.
Yep, I started off with Pearl Export. So I was like, oh shit, now I got to learn how to do the things. Like, what the fuck is all these
tuning?
What? Now I have to learn how to tune a kit, and I don't like. So I started researching. Okay, how do you tune a kit? Because I didn't know. And I saw these guys, and they had tuners trying to tune it to specific notes.
The pressure tuners.
Yeah, and I was just like, oh, that's crazy. And I saw this one guy. He's a pro. I forgot his name. It was a YouTube video I saw, and he was like, look, you can try all you want, but drums are. If you do the head right, the drum is going to sing because, if you do it right, it's all connected. So what he does is he just like hand tightens everything. Then he puts his hand down in the center And if you when
See
you
the
first start
ripples?
the ripples,
Yeah.
and then he just takes out the ripples. Once there's no more ripples,
Done.
done.
Yeah.
And that is like, and that's how I tune. And
That's been one of the easiest tuning abilities. Yeah.
Yeah, and
I
it's
watched that same video. I'm not joking.
you know the one I'm talking.
Yeah, it's he's kind of a balder guy. I've been watching a lot of his videos, and he was just like, "Just I always do it." He like has a room in his that's just filled with equipment.
Yeah.
And he always does these drum like seminars. In
Yeah,
there.
yeah, yeah.
Same guy.
So
That's how
and
I do
his
my
thing,
bass drum.
he was like, he was like, I'm a pro, and I always plan on backline kits, and you don't want to spend 50 minutes trying to tune a backline kit. You want to have a quick and dirty way that you can get it really good so that the head matches the body. And he's just like, this is it. You just,
It's so fucking easy.
I go in, as soon as I sit down at a backline kit, I loosen everything. I put my hand, and then it's tuned. It's tuned the way I want it. And it sounds good. It doesn't overring. It's not too flat. And
Right.
Yeah.
No, that's perfect. Yeah, especially on those backline kits because how much time am I saving if I have to adjust every goddamn thing?
Yeah.
We move this cymbal stand up and down. The stool's not the right height. I'm like, I could have got my entire drum set up here faster than it would take me to put this in the way I kind of need things set up.
Yeah.
The best thing about a backline drum kit is one thing. Not having a bunch of drum kits sitting over on the side of the stage because it takes up a lot of fucking room.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. You have 4 bands, you have 4 drummers, 4 drum kits.
I think anytime I don't know. I prefer in those situations to play the back line.
Yeah, I mean,
because
you
you're
played
only
that one
like
show, you
30,
played
40
mine, right?
minutes. We're only playing like 30 or 45 minutes most of the time, and it's like lug in my kit all the way. I got to break it down at home, put it in the car, take it all the way to the show, set it back up, put it on the stage, get it. Whereas if it's a backline kit, if it's a good backline kit, I mean, some places have crap. So.
Oh my God, just trash on stage.
But some places have good kits. I like the kit at Hotel Vegas is really nice. But you just get up there, adjust the cymbal stands, make some minor adjustments. I don't really tune because I'm not that the guy whose tuning method I borrowed. He's like pro playing with like big names.
Right.
Janet Jackson.
He's been doing it for fucking 40 years. You know?
Yeah. So I mean, if I was the main drummer for some Janet Jackson band, or even for Sheverb, if we're playing a festival or whatever, and they're like giving me a backline kit, I'm gonna make sure that it sounds fantastic for that show.
Especially depending on like the stage that you play on and stuff like that. That's a lot to do with how this. You don't want to hit that tom and it go, and then or the greatest thing is the sound check. First tom. Bing, bing. And you're like, I swear it was tuned before I came here. That's always sucks because he has to dial it in and you got to sit there and just.
But doing 30-minute sets
sounds sometimes
at Hotel Vegas, my goal is to get on and off the stage, and I want to have as much time as possible to play music. So I don't want to spend a lot of time dicking around.
Setting up and leaving the crowd waiting.
Yeah.
So
it's like,
too.
Because if 5 minutes, that's another song that. You could get out to the audience. If you play, that's what people want to hear. They want to hear your music. So I want to get there as fast as possible.
Get there at the pro level, just fucking set up like a pro and get it going. My biggest thing is the fucking bass drum. If that bass drum ain't properly, it doesn't have the right legs on it. It's something janky about it. It's sitting flush with the ground, or the bass drum head is really loose. I'm like, I'm going to kick through this bass drum head. And I'm the first band, so no one's using this backline kit afterwards. And the fucker keeps sliding on me.
Oh, yeah.
So me, I raise mine up like about an inch off the ground in the front, right? Yeah. Really get those legs buried down. A lot of drummers aren't doing this for whatever reason.
I don't know.
Do you really want to fuck around with a rug? This rug is slipperier than the one I was using before. No, you don't want to fuck around with that shit. Pick up that front end of the bass drum just a little bit. Get those legs down deep, You got
to get it off the ground so it'll sing.
Yeah. And I'm always the biggest fan. I'm telling every drummer, I'm like, you tighten the fuck out that bass drum head. Get it real tight. You want that reflection to pop off of it, I know, like, in some cases, a loose goose sound, but you get that more with a bigger drum, right?
So you have your beater head tight?
Oh, super fucking tight.
Yeah, my beater head's loose.
See, that's I need it for... I do fast stuff.
You do a lot of fast stuff.
Yeah.
I don't do as fast stuff as you do.
Exactly. So you probably just want more of a punch and just for it to sound.
Yeah, I wanted to. What I have is the
softer
front head is tighter, so
Oh,
it
okay.
resonates,
Right, yeah.
and the back head's loose, so it just dies.
Oh, I would punch straight through that thing. That's my problem. I set my drum pedals to like a 90-degree angle, and if I'm just like, if I'm going too hard, because sometimes you can't hear yourself when you're playing.
Oh yeah.
I just had those things ricocheting off my ankle, and I'm just like, oh.
No.
And I use those, just the wooden beaters, and I fucking love them. I'm not using any other beater ever. I'm not using a fucking Mapex, fucking triple-sided die beater, or a fucking... What came on my Iron Cobra were like these hammers. They look
Yeah.
like hammers, but they would sometimes flip around, and you just start fucking up your bass drum head. I was like, I'm going to do what every great drummer I've ever seen use, and it's just that round wooden beater.
Wood?
Yeah, wood. Wood has a great snap to it, and every drummer, I watch a lot of like online drum videos.
I've never seen this.
Dude, like
I'm
my
gonna have
favorite
to check out your
drummers-
drums the next
yeah,
time we play together.
for sure.
I've
Because
never paid attention.
it really does. Ever since I got it, I can hear more of a snap back, so I kind of get more projection my way, so I know what my bass drum's sounding like. And,
Oh, that's the worst.
Yeah,
The worst. I hate it when I can't hear my
the
bass drum.
That's when
oh
you
my
start
God.
hitting
It's just
harder
like-
and you start locking up.
It's like I
Yeah.
can't. I don't. It just
You don't know where to put
disappears.
placement. Yeah.
It just disappears.
I've been miking
stage.
a lot of my bass drum at practice just for that reason, because I don't want to technically. You start your power from the bottom. You start heavy from here, and then your left hand's even a little mild heaviness, and then your right arm's supposed to be kind of light. So like playing hard or playing heavy is from bottom up.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I mean? So bass drum first, then the snare, then the fucking cymbals. Cymbals don't need to be hit that hard. You know what I mean? A really bad drummer is someone that's just pounding the shit with his right hand, because we're mostly dominant with our right hand, and then can't hear the snare, or you can't hear that bass drum.
Oh, yeah.
You know, that's like beginner stuff, which what I've heard online is like 10 things you don't want to do as a drummer. You know, I've watched those videos all the time. But it was Gene Hooglin. He said, I've been using the same kick pedal beaters for 30 years. And I was like, I looked them up online. They were $7 each. I bought 2 of them. I don't think I ever have to buy any ever again. He said he'd been using them for 30 years. And he's a
Wow.
monstrous player. Yeah.
Yeah, I use the round wool ones.
The wool has a different home to it, right? Because I think for different projects, you kind of want a different sound. And my biggest thing right now is I'm just using one drum set all around, which I should probably change up. Like for the low down and out, I do want a little bit more of a softer, shimmier sound. My hi-hat's kind of made from metal. I don't really like it for this band. I want something a little bit looser, something a little bit open, you know?
Yeah.
A little shimmer, you know? I really like your hi-hat on your set, because I was like, damn, that's the fucking hi-hat I need. I remember watching you play. I was like, that fucking sounds good.
Yeah,
Like,
I just
want that
recently
hi-hat.
switched. I've been using the master sound
master
from
sound?
yeah. But I recently switched to a Z.
Just a Z? Really? It's like is it like a softer?
It's a little. Well, what I realized is it was a little too long. The master sound was a little too long. The sound, like
Right,
when
yeah.
you, I
Yeah.
wanted it to be more.
Yeah, more tight, more snap. Yeah.
So I moved to a Z. I actually ended up with this crazy deal. Somebody online, Facebook drummer group, Austin Facebook drummer
Oh
group.
yeah. Oh yeah.
Some guy posted, "Hey, I need money. I don't really want to sell it, but if somebody cool that I'll sell you
Someone's
some
gonna
stuff."
use it.
Oh, yeah, somebody who's actually going to use it and who's going to do cool stuff. So hey man, I need cymbals, because at
Yeah,
that
you
point
gotta look for those deals
I
every
had
day.
I had all B8 Menels,
Oh yeah, fucking
those are like student.
yeah. That's what you get when you buy the drum kit, and you're
Yeah.
just like, these suck. No.
Yeah. So I went over there and dude sold me like 15 cymbals,
Holy shit.
2 stands, a 9000,
Oh fuck. It's
a rock sock drum, that my Yamaha hi-hat stand for $300.
$300.
Oh my God, that's
Shit
so
my
sick.
pants when you said that.
Yeah.
The drum stool and the pedal alone, $300.
I know.
You just threw in these cymbals. God damn. Every day I need a check. Every day. After we're done with this interview, I'm immediately going inside and just start
So in the
buying new
past
cymbals.
few weeks, I've been playing with all the cymbals. Didn't really play. I like found the few that I liked, and it just was like, okay, these are it.
You start adding more cymbals to create like more different sounds, because if you're playing a song and you're like, I wish my cymbal had a different sound for this,
Yeah.
and that's when you add in the 4th cymbal, and then there's a 5th, and you're like, well, I like this effects cymbal. I don't know what that's in it.
So right now, I'm actually going through this thing where I have two cymbals. One sounds really good on this song, and the other one sounds really good on this song. And I'm like, do I put another cymbal stand up? Maybe I just change cymbals in the set.
No, put another cymbal stand up. Let's layer them out. Let's pull it all the way around this drum kit. It starts to happen more and more. So it's like, you're like, oh, I want to add in this other tom. I want to add in this other thing. And then I'm like trying to fit equipment in my car. I'm like, fuck. You know? That's why I haven't got the second bass drum yet. I want the two bass drums. What stage and how?
I mean, I just can't even imagine like putting two drums on.
I just hate the slave pedal.
On the
slave pedal
Vegas?
pisses me off.
Trying to.
Oh yeah, that one. I'm just thinking Lost Wells as well.
Yeah.
You know, or something even more fucked up. Let's do Sierra Lounge. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a long stage. It's not very wide.
No.
I always have a problem like putting that cymbal, my very left China cymbal, and like it never fits anywhere in any room. I'm just gonna have to kind of angle it this way. That's kind of where I'm left at. God, can't believe you got that deal. That's fucking super badass. Plus that seat. I've been really wanting one of those drum stools. It locks down when you sit on it.
Yeah.
Like, so it doesn't scoot.
Yeah.
Fucking A. $300. I'm checking it out.
Yeah, it was. I ended up. It was a killer deal.
Yeah.
I totally
Lesson
stuck.
to everyone.
That's where I got. So I had the master sounds before, but now I have a quick beat, which is pretty decent. And then I've started using the Z for my hi hats. And then I've got. I don't know. I mean, I just have a plethora of opportunities, but I mostly stick with Zildjian, and most of the ones I'm using are from like the 70s.
Oh, wow. Those are like, I know so many drummers that collect that, and then they'll trade and sell between other drummers that just have these really old cymbals from the 70s. And I'm like, how the fuck do you keep these cymbals alive? Because I guess when you have a lot of them, it's like tennis shoes. You're not wearing the same pair every day, so they're going to last a lot longer. Using the same one for the same band, that's how I break cymbals.
Yeah, I've never broken a cymbal, but
What?
I've only been playing for 4 years, so.
Break a cymbal every 3 months.
Yeah, I've never broken a cymbal. I've never broken a head.
Never blown a head?
Oh, no, that's not true. I blew a head in the middle of a show.
Snare drum head?
No,
Right off the
bass.
Bass drum.
I put the...
That's why you got to tighten it up. Case in
No,
point.
the problem is that I didn't have one of those pads.
Oh, yeah, that too.
And I was using... Somebody else used my kit.
So they adjusted your bass pedal?
They used their own bass pedal, and it went through. It weakened it in a different spot. I don't know. So yeah, I was in the middle of a set. I got up, took the drum off the stage, and ran around until I found somebody else's drum and just pulled it off.
Oh my god, that's the most terrifying thing. is just to have that happen, blow out that. The bass drum? Oh no.
Put it right through the.
Yeah. Fuck, that's like the guitar player breaking a string on stage.
Yeah.
This is a lot worse. I'm not replacing this head. Hold on, like NASCAR up here, like fucking jack up this bass drum. Hold it, dude, quick! The crowd's looking at us.
Yeah.
Damn, I can't believe bass drum head. Okay, I've blown out the bottom of a snare drum many of times, but
the bottom of a snare.
yeah, like just because you have it super tight on the bottom, and like I just fucking strap down that snare chain really tight too, and I'll blow off the springs sometimes, or just blow out the bottom head completely.
Wow.
It's happened a couple times. I think I'm playing wrong. I think I'm doing something wrong. And yeah, cymbals. This guy's been hit. Chris over here, our producer, has been nailed by multiple shards of whatevers. Yeah, cymbals, sticks. It's an axe. I'm not meaning to, but like it's a lot of thrash metal that we play. So sometimes you dig.
I could see. That's the thing is I don't
dig.
play metal. I'm not like. I'm pretty heavy-handed, but not crazy heavy-handed.
Right. Yeah, you're not going like blast beats down. Like I always find myself like getting tired, so I start straining a little bit more, and then I'm just start digging or not hearing yourself, and that's when you start hitting a little bit harder.
Oh,
And
yeah.
you're like, oh, why am I so fucking tired? So no drum-related injuries, I'm guessing.
Not.
I ask this to every drummer.
Well, I mean, my shoulders are kind of.
Yeah, repetitive motion.
Yeah.
But nothing too severe.
No.
Think South by like pulled a muscle in my ribs, like right here. I guess it was just like in my stomach area. I'm not sure.
There might be the occasional whack in the face with the drumstick.
Oh, you want to hear something really fucked up? We heard this guy just kind of drunk playing a show on stage. I asked him about any drum related injuries. He's like, yeah, I was playing one time, just sticks going on the hi-hat. he wore his glasses as well. And out of nowhere, stick comes in, breaks his glasses, or just goes underneath the glass. I'm not sure, but the stick goes right here in between his eye, all the way in. What? Like the whole tip went in between his eye socket. And he freaked out and was like, ah! And threw the drumstick and just nailed some chick in the crowd with it. Yeah. Which is just boom. Yeah. He just screamed like, ah! Yeah. He was like, oh my God. And I think the set was over there. We looked at each other like, I didn't think I was ever going to hear that story of shattered through my glasses. He was a little drunk, and he was just saying, that's what he was saying. He was like drunk, not paying attention, just came and whacked yourself, right?
Yeah.
Hit yourself all the time when you first started playing.
No stories like that.
Took his own eye out.
I mean, I guess the things that I've done is, I got altitude sickness in New Mexico.
Oh.
When we were playing out there on our last tour, I did a show. We got up. We played at Madrid, New Mexico, which is kind of like between Albuquerque and Taos. It's this little weirdo town. It was awesome. I really don't remember the show.
Damn.
Because I was like, we got there and I was like, oh, I feel nauseous. I don't feel so good. I played the whole show, but then we played in Albuquerque the next night, and I literally had a vomit bucket next to me because I was puking.
In between songs?
Luckily I didn't puke. I
Shit.
puked before and after the show,
That's rough.
but I had it there just in case. I have played shows I don't remember at all because I was sick.
Oh, you still got up there and played though?
Yeah.
Hell
there was
yeah.
a show at Swan Dive where I was like completely exhausted, sick. I don't remember the show. Like, I don't remember the show. I talked to the band afterwards. Was it any good? Did we, the next day I was like, how's the show last night? And they're like, what do you mean? It's like, I don't remember it. I was asleep in the green room. They woke me up. I came on stage. I played the set, went back in the green room and fell asleep.
Holy shit. Yeah.
And I don't remember the show.
1, 2, 3. Just start playing. I'm awake. Wait, what song is this?
Pretty
Holy
much.
shit. Yeah.
Pretty
But
much.
they were like, yeah, it went fine. And you were like,
Cool.
okay, cool. Cool.
Pretty much.
Why? Why are you asking? No reason. No reason.
That's pretty much it. Yeah.
Oh, man. I've definitely thrown up after shows before, too. The heat alone in this town for kill someone, especially being a drummer. Just Sunday, I went to this warehouse show. It's like it's just a name. It's just a fucking address, right? And you go in there, man, and it's just like they had a fog machine going, and they had all the like really fucking bright fluorescent lights on, and we're like, I hope this ain't like this the whole time. Next band goes on, lights go off, more fog. It's a small room. It was so hot last Sunday, and the drummer, thrash metal band, singing just fucking after every song was just like trying to hold it. I was like, dude, I know,
Yeah, right?
I feel that all the time. And they're like, are you ready for the next song? And I'm like, just give 1 second. Okay, I know everyone's waiting. Oh, I just knew.
Drummers do the most labor in any band.
Yeah.
We set up the drum kit before the show. We're physically moving the entire show. And then after the show, you have to tear everything down.
Yeah, break. Get this off real quick so the next drummer can come up. Hate that person that's just like the first band plays, and as soon as the band's done, the drummer starts taking off his cymbals. I'm literally like in the back just losing my mind. I'm like, is he breaking down his set on stage? I will rip you in half, sir. Take it off in one piece. I just stuff like that, and like snares left on off to the side. I'm like, turn that fucking snare off.
Oh yeah.
You fucking, I get a little mad, I guess. And
Yeah.
I have little anger problems, but it helps with playing drums. Keeps me going. So I use it as motivation. Goddamn. Guess we can move on and start talking about this album a little bit more. I know we don't have too much time left. Fucking love the new album. I listened to I guess it was a cover song?
Yes.
The new one?
No
called
Werewolf.
No Werewolf, yeah. But
Yeah, it's our
Werewolf was the cover.
version of a old, or I guess 1960 is the official release date of a song called Werewolf by the Frantics. It was originally a Halloween song, had like an Edgar Allan Poe poem spoken over the intro, and then there's werewolf sounds throughout the show.
Yeah.
Right?
I've heard that song before.
But then the radio stations didn't like it, and so what they did is they recut it without the
Werewolf sounds.
werewolf. So they called it No Werewolf.
Oh, okay.
And then that became a hit. And then the Ventures covered it on their Ventures in Space album. If you've ever heard that.
I have heard that song before. I listened to it a couple of times before I got here for this interview. I was like, oh, I know this song.
Yeah.
I've heard it.
So the Ventures did it. They called it the Fourth Dimension.
Ooh.
And then recently the Alalas did it. I can't remember the name of the album that was on now. The one with the orange cover. Anyways, the Alalas did it. And what's interesting is every time that song has been released, it's been put out as a 7-inch single. Even the
Really?
Alalas put it out as a 7-inch.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So so we did it. We're doing our own version of it. It's not a strict redo of the exact same song. We kind of broke it down a little different.
Made it Sheverb.
Made it Sheverb. We call it Sheverbified.
Yeah, I saw that too. It's Sheverbificationed. Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, it's a great tune. I really love playing it.
And on this that's going to be the B-side.
That is the B side for the single, and then on the A side is a song we wrote called "Put a Mullet on It," all one word. Put a mullet on it.
Put a mullet on it.
Yeah, put a mullet on. And that song was born out of Betty and Fern were spending evening watching B horror movies, and they watched this movie called Mad Men from Matadoris, which was a movie about some people in Matadoris who had Hitler's brain in a jar, and they were going to try to plant it in somebody's body, I guess. I don't really know.
Sounds like a great plot for a movie. I can't believe I haven't seen this one before.
It was remade. It was redone. The same movie, the same film, like exactly. They just 5 years later, they added some new scenes into it and called it "They Saved Hitler's Brain."
Better title.
Yeah. And so in the intro song, there's this like 2-chord. There's like a piano playing.
Okay.
And then there's this one part where there's this like 2 chords, like 2 guitar chords. There's like piano, and then it goes, wah, wah, and then it goes back to the piano. Fern pulled that little, was like, how do they do that? And wrote another song, trying to figure out how they did that.
Oh, wow. Just, trying to figure out this one actually created something new out of
Yeah.
it. Dude, that's pretty cool.
So that's where we get Put a Mullet on It.
Oh, right. Yeah. Now I get it. Now I get it.
And it's more of a like rockabilly rock and roll song.
Ooh, I love the cleverness already. That's the one song I didn't get to hear because I'm sure that's being released Sunday.
It's currently available as a live video from Safe House.
Okay.
But it'll be available on Sunday.
I'm
September
definitely going to be there.
It'll be on all the streaming services. And that's a lot of fun to play. It's just a rocker. I mean, it's like
I'm looking forward to hearing that one.
155, 160.
Oh, wow. Just going, huh? Mm-hmm. Yeah. Make sure you tighten up that bass drum head for that one. You're going to need that reflection off of it. I'm trying to tell people. Well, I'm really looking forward to the album coming out. I know I've talked to Betty about it, so I was already excited beforehand. This is kind of just 2 songs, but it's great. You're just giving people a piece of it. Great artwork. And, I love those things where it's just here's 2 songs. Check them out. It's not like a whole album. You're not intimidating a lot of people when you're like, hey, check out my music. It's just,
Yeah.
It takes a minute, just listen to this song. And then obviously you guys can just keep working and putting out stuff.
Yes.
Yeah.
Well, right now
you guys have been going ever since you got started. In my
So after the album comes out, we are going to start focusing on our next adventure, which is going to be a month-long residency.
Oh, I was looking at the tour dates. No,
Yeah.
I was like, the tour, right? The Mysterious Stranger tour?
Oh, that was this summer.
That was last summer's tour?
This was just past summer.
Oh, yeah, now I'm seeing the dates. I'm like, well, fuck on me. Bad at research.
So we're going to, all right, we'll talk about that after I tell about where we're going to next.
Yeah.
So there's this place in California called the Salton Sea. Are you familiar with it?
No.
I'll give you the whole story because it's a great story. All right, so the Salton Sea was a agricultural. So the Salton Sea is the lowest, one of the lowest points in California. It was a valley, and then in the like 1930s or 40s, they were diverting the river for agricultural purposes.
Right.
And they had an accident, and it filled up this valley with water, and it became the Salton Sea.
Huh.
And then in the 60s, 50s and 60s, some developer people were like, hey, there's this water. We'll turn it into like a Riviera, the Riviera of California. And they built all these resorts, houses, parks all around the Salton Sea. And LA, all the people from LA County and San Diego, it was like near Palm Springs, would come out there and like hang out, you know?
Yeah.
Water sports on the lake, and it's a salt lake. Water sports, and they had little houses and stuff. And then in the early 70s, people just stopped going. And they started having problems. The fish started dying off, so people stopped. That like really cut people from going there, and it just kind of went downhill. And all those vacation homes that they had built just started getting abandoned.
Oh, it's like a ghost town now.
Yes. So there's this town called Bombay Beach. It's the oldest town on the Salton Sea. It has the lowest bar in the U.S. The bar that's the lowest is below sea level.
Oh, whoa.
It's like 200 feet below sea level. So it's even lower than like New Orleans.
That's crazy.
Yeah. So it's the lowest bar, and it's been running since the 50s, this place. It's called the Ski Inn. And we are going to do a month-long residency out there.
Are people still living out there?
Yeah.
Okay.
So like the town is like
a ghost town.
You know, it's like a third ghost, a third people who are economically disadvantaged because they don't have money and they can't move, and they're living there. And then it's a third. These are rough. A third outsider artists. So like, there's sculptures. There's a big art event there every year.
Whoa.
There's a big festival in February called the Salton Sea.
Yeah.
So we're gonna be out there in February. We're gonna write an album of music inspired by the place. We are inviting several other musicians to come and collaborate with us through this process. So it's gonna be like this, and we have a documentary film crew that's gonna be coming along and filming the process.
Whoa. Holy shit, that's really fucking awesome.
Yeah, it's completely insane.
Yeah.
We have an award-winning documentary film crew who has signed on to do this.
Yeah, oh my God, that's amazing.
Yeah. We're
Excited?
like, yeah, this is going to be crazy. We're going to go for a month, like focus on just the music.
Really live it.
Live it.
Yeah.
And we're going to have a bunch of people coming out to collaborate with us. It's going to be
God damn, that sounds amazing.
We're trying to get all the weirdo, female, alt country, western, rock.
I see what she's saying. I'm picking up what you're saying.
Come out.
Sounds fucking fun. Yeah.
We're going to spend a month doing, and we're going to have a weekly show. We're going to do some workshops for the locals. We're going to play Slap City. We're going to play the Salton Sea Festival.
Yeah. I'm blown away by the idea of like, you guys are like, yeah, we're going out there to play these shows and have this residency, but we're also going to write an entire album about the feel and the vibe of this place. It's like, that's a really good idea. That's how you write a fucking album, you know?
Yeah.
You really get outside your own headspace, go somewhere and like fucking really create something awesome. You can't do that all the time sitting at home.
No.
Yeah, where's your ideas coming from? You guys have a lot of great ideas.
Yeah. Well, you know, I mean, you look at like some of the really great albums that have ever come along, like Blood Sugar Sex Magic.
Okay. I'm not really the biggest fan, but yeah, go ahead.
It's a good album. I mean,
oh no, I owned it. I listened to it a million times. Yeah.
I was like, what are you talking about?
I was like, no, I hate them. Go back to California.
They spent a month in the house, made that album. You look at Queen.
Yeah, those stories and how they
go out in those that mansion and wrote that album. The one with the robot,
Yeah. We've been doing a lot of album anniversary things, so we have to learn how these albums are created, and a lot of them are like, they're not at home and then coming to the studio. They're out like at the studio. They're living there for 6 weeks and creating this entire album and getting. Some of the things were really cool, like the At the Drive-In one, where like the producer is like known for being a psycho, and it's like he took the bass player out like driving through Malibu in his SUV, just like flooring it around, just like so he would pump his adrenaline up, and then immediately get him in there to like record his bass. He's just one of those guys that are in there where you're recording, and just like pushing you. But no, just shake it, get loose it, One of those guys, but great stories behind how albums are created.
Yeah,
it's never just out on a whim, we just went in there and recorded this fucking one thing. I mean, sometimes it happens.
Yeah, I mean,
but we're talking about greatness.
Yeah. So we're hoping we can catch some magic, and I'm really excited about the film part too. We're gonna documentary crew is gonna come out. And
I would be fucking nervous just following me around, just catching me off guard. Oh, hi.
Yeah,
just waking up.
So that's our next big thing.
Damn, that's so you guys are just like having a bunch of dates until you get to that point, like just a few local gigs.
We'll still be playing around town and stuff. I mean, we're looking for a new guitar player, so that's kind of one of the things that's occupying.
3 guitar players?
Maybe.
Okay. We'll see. Okay, no, I totally understand. It's part of being in a band, for sure.
Yeah.
But guitar player, that's easy to find. There's one right there. There's 2 more inside. I'm going to show them to you.
I mean, it's Austin. You like walk outside and swing a rope around, you'll hit like 35 guitar players.
That's what I was going to ask you. Is like, how are you not in any other bands? And are you constantly like fighting people off, being like, no, I'm busy. I can't play drums for your band?
Well,
I feel like that sometimes. I'm like, shoot.
To be honest, I very rarely get approached to be playing in other bands. I don't know. I know Ziggy's asked me to be your backup.
Good luck with that. I'm like blowing out my knees over here. Yep, let Xina play it. I'm gonna go ice myself down like an old baseball player.
I have been approached recently by another band that is like, hey, you want to be here? But I think a lot of people don't approach because we're so busy.
Yeah, you guys are always playing. You guys always have something happening. And I know like kind of just putting in your time and effort into one thing really could make it blow up, you know? For me, I have the idea is just I want to practice more, and I want to try to be more of a musician as well as like professional drummer. I want to be a professional musician, and I think I need to just branch out, break my style, play a lot of metal. I gotta break that. I gotta learn something else. I gotta learn that shuffle. You know what I mean? Still working on mine. I know. Trying to play
the shuffle's so hard.
Yeah, trying to play that stupid fucking Gold Earring song, and I'm like, I fucking hate this song. It's a really hard. It's like one of the hardest covers to play, in my opinion.
Which song?
Radar Love. It's a lot of drum work, not a lot of bass or guitar. It's just a lot of that shuffle, and then when the chorus hits, you're just fucking doing killer fills, and then there's a drum solo in there. And if you ever watch the live video, the drummer's making it look insanely easy with his traditional style grip. He's just smirking at you as he's playing. I'm like, fuck, this is in my face, huh? In my face. So I do like to branch out, and that's why I think I play in a lot of bands. But yeah, I just know being like a drummer in this town, like every time we go to practice, I don't know where you guys, probably at your house.
We practice we practice at my house.
Lucky.
Yeah.
Anytime I'm at like a practice spot, like a music lab or a sound, whatever, there's all flyers everywhere. I need drummer. Drummer needed.
I mean, it's like
drummer.
Drummers and bass players. I recently did Girls Rock Austin. It's a summer camp for female, non-binary, transgender youth.
Okay.
And it's basically the main focus is empowerment, like teaching them how to be okay taking up space, and we do one of the things we do is you can't say sorry. You're not supposed to say sorry. I'm sorry, because like that's a default for women a lot. I'm sorry.
I use that a lot.
Yeah. And so if we hear one of the campers say I'm sorry, you're not sorry. You rock.
No, you rock.
You rock.
I guess I do rock. Thank you.
So it's like, teaching them how to find their voice.
Right.
But one of the things I was, pretty emphatic about when we were talking about picking instruments and stuff. I was like, if you want to have a career in music, learn how to play the bass.
That's true. You're gonna get a lot of work.
You can get so much work if you're a good bass player. You can. There's more work than you can stick a shick at.
Yeah, that's so true. I feel bad for being a songwriter at some point because he has to find those people to make his shit happen. All we're doing as drummers or bass players is we're just waiting for someone to ask us to play because there's always a songwriter around, you know?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know. You go into any of the Austin music community groups, there's looking for, it's like, I'm a songwriter. I need a bass player or a drummer. I need a bass player and drummer. I need a bass player and drummer.
If you're part of that Facebook drum group on there, one of the stipulations is that you have to be a drummer to be a part of it. And there's no posting for like looking for drummers. Like you can't sit there and poach. Like this is a private group. You cannot come at us with your guitar playing bullshit. Like, this is meant for drums and a safe spot for us.
Yeah.
I just thought it was funny. It's like you cannot post about needing a drummer on here. Because that's like the gold mine of drummers right there. It's like 60,000 drummers just talking shit about whether or not I should have tape on my drum set. I've never put tape on my drum set. I think it looks right. Man, I've seen professionals drummers put tape on their drum sets, and it sounds good. So it's looks. Some people are like, I need everything to be even. This has to be a perfect height. You know, I guess you're not as crazy as like some drummers because I could be back there with like a ruler being like, it's not feeling right. Something's wrong.
For me, it's all about the feel. So I'm a total feel drummer. So I adjust it until it feels right, and then I don't measure.
I think I just constantly break mine down and then have to reset it back up. So it's like if I have to break down my stands all the way, I'm kind of fucked. And because I have to like find that height, you know, I have to get behind the drum kit, sit down, go back around, lift the stand up, come back too high. Fuck, I gotta. You know, it's like vicious.
That's one of the things. The very first first or second show I played. Somebody was like, hey, I can help you break your drum kit down. I was like, oh, cool. They broke my drum kit down, and I went home to set it up, and I was like,
no, you adjusted everything.
They took...
Especially that tom rack. You fucking moved that tom rack. You know how long it took me to get it there?
I was like,
oh, my God.
Never again. Yeah. And I don't let anybody...
Can I help you? Wait till I break down all the way, and then you could pick up something and take it to a vehicle.
When I get the drum off the thing, you can put it in the bag and take it away. Don't touch anything. Yeah.
Don't try to fucking fold in the legs because you'll do it wrong.
I have it. I have my drum kit set up in such a way that I can break it down, put it in my bag, take it out, and pretty much set it up right away. I don't have to do any adjusting.
That's why I'm still with that horrible cymbal stand bag that's just like as long as this couch and just nonsense heavy and stabbing people. But it's because I don't want to break it down to fit in one of those hard cases. And that hard case is definitely not going to fit in my car if they're fully extended. So give and take, man. I'm not trying to be a cheap drummer. I'm just trying to make it easy for myself. I'm trying to adjust hi-hat stands all day, man.
Yeah.
That's where I'm at. But no, it's a smart way of going upon it. And can't wait for that fucking, for this album to come out. You guys got a record label as well?
Yes. We were signed.
Fucking A.
Peacock Sunrise Records out of Orlando, Florida. How we ended up with that is when we put out our first album, Chapter 1, I noticed somebody mentioned us on Facebook, and I was like, oh, I'm going to go check out who this person is. It's Melodic Revolution Records is the same guy that owns Peacock Sunrise. Peacock Sunrise is a sub-label of Melodic Revolutions Records.
That's what I got right here. Melodic Revolutions and MMR Music Group.
Yep. So that's the biggest organization. MMR Music Group.
MRR Music Group.
MRR Music Group.
Yeah, fuck that up.
Yeah. I mess it up all the time too. They own. So that the owner is Nick Catan, and he owns Melodic Revolution Records, Peacock Sunrise Records, The Power of Prague, which is a web magazine, and then he has a radio station. That's what MRR Music Group is.
Oh, okay.
So those four things.
Right.
So he played one of our songs on his radio station, and I was like, "Why are you playing our music?" He's like, "I like it." So I reached out to him. I found him. You know,
how much do you like our music?
And so I reached out to him, and I was like, hey, I just wanted to touch base. You're playing our music on your radio station, and we're a brand new band. So I was like, tell me about this stuff. And we started a conversation, and over the course of the year, I would ask him questions because I was like, hey, he's a guy who owns a record label.
He's got to know something.
He
about
knows
it.
stuff.
Yeah, I need information.
Hey,
opinion.
what a way. What do you think about this kind of promotional idea? And so he'd give me feedback. And then when we were getting ready to put this out, I was like, what do you guys think about being on a record label? And asked the band, they were like, what do you mean? I was like, well, I think maybe we could get a record label if we wanted it. So I reached out to him. And like 2 weeks before I reached out to him, he announced that he was starting a sub-label. Because what he was finding is he couldn't get non-prog rock bands on his regular label.
Okay.
Because his regular label is mostly prog.
Okay.
And so he started a sub-label, and I was like...
What you do, yeah.
Yeah, as you do.
Yeah, as you do, yeah. You don't want Slayer on Death Jam America, then we're just going to make America Jam Death, whatever the fuck.
So I kind of had the impression that he wanted us. And so I reached out to him. I was like, would you be interested in helping us with a release? And he was like, yeah, definitely. So we signed.
Boom. And right now, is it just like a distribution kind of thing?
Yeah, so he just did distribution.
Okay, yeah.
And promotion.
Well, that's great. That's two things that you guys can... still going to do your own promotion as well, but it kind of takes off a little bit of pressure. Just focus on the music.
Yeah.
We're musicians. We shouldn't have to focus on every little aspect. That's why there's other people in the music industry that aren't playing instruments.
Yes, and he's been great. He's really, really fantastic to work with.
That's fucking so awesome. You guys got a label. It's starting to push. Like, for 2 years. It's been only 2 years. And I blew Betty's mind. I was like, do you guys know it's your anniversary? When I was doing her interview. And she was like... No, and I was like, 2 years. I feel like you guys got a lot done because I've seen a lot of bands been around for 5 years, and you're smoking them on like progress and like keeping it going and the motion, and you guys got it going on. And,
well, we work really hard. I am completely 100% committed to this project. So is Betty. We are very motivated. I'm 49, and I kind of feel like, I got to do it. If it's going to happen, I got to do it. Yeah. And, one of the great things about being older and coming into this is that I don't waste time. Like, if I would have been doing this with 20, I would have been too busy partying all the time.
Right, coming in hungover, hangovered. Yeah.
So I'm very motivated for success. I would like this to become a way that I earn money.
Yes.
Like real money, not, $20 for playing Hotel Vegas.
Not just like fucking throw you some change off to the side, but to actually do this to the point to where you can make that living off it. No one's trying to get rich here. We just want to keep doing this.
Yeah. People often
ask
me what success would look like. And my answer is always Yo La Tengo.
What does that mean?
Have you ever heard the band Yo La Tengo?
No, I don't think so.
They're like a 90s alternative band. They started in the 80s. They're contemporaries of like Sonic Youth and...
Okay, you can kind of see what it sounds like. Just imagine a little bit.
They're a little like softer. Sonic Youth is a little more edgy. But they're like... They've had great success. They were one of the last of the big alternative bands of the 90s to get signed to a major label. And the reason why is because they turned them down. They were like, no, we don't want it. We don't want your crappy... We don't want your crappy deal. And when they finally signed, they had a killer deal.
They just held out until they got the deal they were looking for.
Yeah, because they were like, we're doing fine.
Killed your fucking band if you would have signed to a shitty fucking deal.
Yeah.
It could have killed it.
They kept all their creative control.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. So, and they're still putting music out, and they're still touring, and it's a 3-person band, and the same 3 people have been in the band the entire time. They're all still friends. You can see it when you see them live on stage. They just like each other, and they're having fun. And they make money, not crazy money, but good money.
Right.
They have, they can afford their life, and they get to play music. And
yeah, in my mind, that's success too.
Yeah.
That's where we all want to be as musicians.
They're, people know who they are, but they're not so famous that they can't like go out to a restaurant. there you go.
Yeah.
That's the sweet spot.
Yeah, no, you dead on the money with that one. That's what I want to do too. I'm pretty sure that's what we're all looking for as being musicians, just to get by on doing what we love.
Let's talk about Mysterious Strangers.
Okay.
Because you brought it up, and I wanted to circle back. So we did a tour this summer. Well, it was spring, actually, called Mysterious Strangers. We toured the Southwest, and it was so much fun. We got to go to all these weirdo places. That's how we ended up in Bombay Beach, and got this residency. We played Slab City, which is the largest squat in America. It's just like this empty land out in the desert in California that has people living in it.
Whoa, that sounds pretty cool.
We played Arco Sante, which is a future utopian architectural school place in Arizona.
Weird.
Yes, very weird. We played Madrid, New Mexico, which is this like weirdo artist town, and they call it Madrid, not Madrid, because everybody in the town is a little mad. They have shirts, and they have shirts that everybody wears. Not everybody wears. They sell and stuff. Madrid doesn't have a town drunk. Everyone takes a turn.
Oh damn, that's a good shirt.
We played Bisbee, Arizona, which is this like weirdo artist enclave on the Mexican border.
Damn it! All these dates were very strange and
we played Albuquerque, we played El Paso, we played Denver.
Some traditional ones, but a lot of weird ones.
Yes,
and fun.
And one of the great things about it was, we were on tour for 16 dates, I think.
15.
And there was only 2 days that we had to drive over 4 hours a day. Every other stop was less than 4 hours.
Oh my god, that sounds perfect.
And we had
set that up so great, right?
Yeah, and we had a day off.
So you didn't like burn yourself down on
Yeah, I just heard a Roselit Bone. They're a band out of Portland. They do like all country rock, kind of in the same vein we do. We're more surfy spaghetti western, but they're more western. But still, it's all rocky western stuff. They were like 12-hour day driving.
Holy shit, yeah.
They were like basically
hard,
drive, play a show, get in the car and drive, play a show, get in the car and drive.
Oh, and just feeling miserable in between, I'm sure. Yeah.
So one of the things we try to do on our tours is we want to play the weirdo places.
Yeah.
That's where we want to be. We're going to play the big we're going to play big places.
Thrive.
We're going to play Denver because we can make money there.
Right, yeah. Traditional.
But we want to play Madrid because that's where all fun weirdo stuff happens,
Yeah. Dude, I want to play these places now. I'm like, god damn it, that's another good idea straight from Sheverb. Yeah.
So, depends on what you want to do. What are you going for?
That's true. You guys bound your image inside the music and outside the music, and I think that's what's really fueling this project even further, and people could see that shit.
Oh, yeah. We definitely... that was one of the things we talked about early on, was like creating the image.
Yeah.
Creating
Sheverb.
Yeah. What is Sheverb? What does that mean?
It's very smart.
It's like, we have a style guide. We don't actually have a style guide, but
you kind of want to. I get it. You want to keep everything
pointing in the same direction.
Yes, exactly.
And that includes all the tour, going to these weirdo places.
Yeah, that's why I was like, it fits you guys well. And I wouldn't even blink an eye if you guys were playing some weirdo fest, and I'm just like, oh yeah, that makes sense.
Oh, and I forgot my favorite show. My favorite show of the tour, Mystery Strangers, was Garth's Boulder Garden.
Garth Boulder Garden.
Yes.
Oh, barely could say
Joshua Tree. So it's Garth is the titular Garth, was a desert wanderer in the 60s, and he came across this property, which was 600 acres right next to Joshua Tree National Monument. He bought it. According to him, the spirit allowed him to be able to purchase it. I don't know what that means.
He had a vision.
He had a vision. Yeah. It came true. He bought it. And now it's like this way station for spiritual travelers.
Dude.
And he has these like little houses on there on the property, little like bird houses. It's like a little birdhouse that has a bed That's it. It's basically a bed and some
Whoa.
storage. And people come out there and they stay. They help him maintain the property, so it's like curated.
Yeah.
There's like trails and everything. And one of our fans said, "Hey, I see you have 2 down dates in California. You should call Garth. Maybe he'll let you stay there." And so we reached out and we're like, "Hey, a friend of ours told us to talk to you. Maybe we can trade a show for a night to stay." And they're like, "Sure, but nobody's going to be here. Just the people that live on the property."
Okay.
And we're like, "Oh, that's okay." I mean, they gave us room and board for a show. We show up, there's like 10 people. 10 people living there. We drive around the property, we find a place. We basically set up in the middle of the desert with a generator, played to 10 people. But not only were there 10 people, there was a chicken, a peacock.
They all stuck around.
Well, the guy came up with the chicken on his shoulder.
Okay.
And the chicken started singing along to our music.
Okay.
And we also had 2 slam dancing dogs. And we had a couple of people who, this is according to Garth, lived in a cave that faced the stage where we were playing. And they don't like to come out, and they hang out in they like to be by themselves. But they were definitely listening to our music. And according to Garth, the people had a rattlesnake that lived in their cave, and that they would at night sometimes they would take their feet and pet the rattlesnake with their feet at night.
Okay, weirdo.
Yes.
What? That is crazy. I need to go to this place.
And we were just out in the desert, like the sun setting. We are playing.
That is probably the best show, right?
Our Sheverb music to 10 people who are totally. And this is California. And being California,
videotaped.
I do have a videotape of it.
Oh, I need to see it.
I'll show it to you afterwards. Being California, everybody was smoking mad amounts of weed. And between every song, they would come up and give us weed.
Oh, thank you. I started to lose my place in the set.
It was amazing. It was amazing. I think, some of our promo photos came from that, from being out there. It was just, we stayed in a tent. And then what was great is so we played an hour and a half set out there. We played everything we know. Done.
Everything.
And we played every song that we had in our arsenal. We played it. And afterwards, we got a bonfire, and then we stayed. But some of the people that were, hung out with us and drank some beers, and we had all these great conversations about, art and our whole mythos about, we are, we operate in the spaghetti Western thing, but we are not about conquest. We are about collaboration.
Right.
Yeah. It's not about domination. It's about community. It's not about violence.
It's about love.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So, it's
totally
all, so we had this conversation about, being females in this male-dominated genre, and what does that mean? And how can we rewrite our story of the history of America in a way that brings us forward? Because now get into some of our mythos and philosophy and stuff, but we tell this story about how America is founded by rugged individuals who moved west and conquered the land.
Yeah, took it over by force.
Yeah. The truth of the matter is that the people who survived in the West weren't the rugged individuals. They were people who had community that could lean on other people.
That makes sense, yeah.
You had to have an adventuresome spirit in order to go out west.
Yeah, but you need a group of people.
But you needed support. If you were out there by yourself, you're more likely.
Yeah.
The places that survived were the places where people were able to form community.
That makes sense, yeah.
And it's just that's not the story we tell, though.
No, and you totally ass backwards when we put it the other way.
Yeah.
And it's
Rugged
ridiculous,
individual, man.
Taking it by force.
I'm going to conquer the land.
We're kind of out of time.
Yeah, I figured.
I'm running a little bit late, but I do appreciate you doing this. It's been so much fun, and I'm definitely going to be there Sunday at Antone's Records. It starts at 3, right?
Starts at 3, Antone's Records. We'll play for an hour, and free beer.
Free beer.
Thank you, Lone Star.
Yes, Lone Star. Yes, all music in Texas is ran by Lone Star. It's the fuel that we put in our tanks, for sure.
Yeah. Yep. So I look forward to it. See you
me
there.
too. Yeah, I'm going to be there, and hopefully I don't have to work that day, and maybe have that barbecue as well, because I know I'm going to be hungry. I'm always hungry. Oh, it's a secret? Okay, never mind. All right, well,
thank you.
No, thank you.
Thank you.
Where
No,
they
thank you.
going to find
Thank
you?
you. Thank you.
Your Instagram is just at Sheverb, ATX, or just Sheverb?
Sheverb for Instagram, Sheverb for Facebook.
Easy.
If you are interested in my electronics business, it's Xina.electronics with an X at the end.
Ooh, yes. We'll probably put a link in for that because we have so many people. Many people. And I'll get one of those cards from you too as soon as we're done with this.
All right. Well, thank you.
Thank you.